Imagine waking up on a quiet morning, feeling the warmth of the sun through the window, only to notice a sharp, persistent bitterness coating your tongue. You reach for a glass of water, hoping to wash away what seems like a simple case of morning breath, but the unpleasant sensation lingers deep in your throat. For many adults over the age of 60, this has become a routine part of waking up, a small discomfort that we quickly dismiss with a toothbrush before moving on with our day. However, that lingering taste is often much more than a minor inconvenience. It is a specific chemical signal sent by your body while you are in deep sleep. In my years of clinical practice, I have watched many patients ignore this message because it does not come with a burning pain or a loud alarm. Yet, this morning bitterness is actually a silent communication from your digestive system, suggesting that your internal defenses might be struggling to maintain balance during the night, even when you feel otherwise healthy. We tend to believe that our organs simply shut down to rest, but the reality is that your internal chemistry is constantly shifting, especially as we age. There is a hidden process occurring under the surface that involves how your body manages fluids and enzymes while you are lying flat, and that bitter taste is the first visible evidence of a change in your physiology. Today, we are going to decode this neglected signal and explore why your body is using your morning routine to warn you about a risk you likely did not know existed. In the next few minutes, we are going to pull back the curtain on why this happens and what your body is trying to tell you before you even step out of bed. Many of my patients assume this bitterness is just a sign of getting older, but the truth is much more specific. We are looking at a phenomenon where the small valve protecting your throat loses its strength, allowing digestive fluids to travel upward while you rest. If you want to learn how to recognize these signals, you can follow me on this channel. What is most striking is that many people perform a specific evening habit that they believe is healthy, yet it actually accelerates this internal wear and tear. This isn't just about what you eat, but a fundamental misunderstanding of how our internal organs transition into sleep mode. This silent upward movement of fluids often occurs without the classic burning sensation we associate with heartburn, meaning it can quietly irritate your system for years without you ever realizing the source of the problem. But there is an even deeper layer to this mystery that we discovered in the clinic recently. While the valve near your stomach is part of the story, there is a second, hidden factor involving your liver and gallbladder that changes the chemistry of your saliva overnight. Most people never connect their morning taste to these vital organs, yet this hidden link explains why the bitterness feels so persistent. There is one specific detail about how these organs interact that we will uncover shortly, which changes everything about how we view nighttime recovery. Have you ever noticed how a small, late-night snack can feel like a comforting ritual to end your day? Many of us reach for a piece of fruit or even a healthy-looking cracker just an hour before heading to bed, thinking it helps us settle in for the night. However, this common habit is often the primary reason you wake up with that unpleasant, bitter taste. When you eat and then immediately lie down, you are essentially asking your digestive system to work against gravity while its internal mechanics are trying to rest. Inside your chest, there is a small muscular ring that functions like a one-way door between your throat and your stomach. Medical professionals refer to this as the lower esophageal sphincter, and its sole purpose is to keep digestive fluids exactly where they belong. As the years pass, this muscular door can naturally become a bit more relaxed or lose its tight seal. When you lie perfectly flat, this relaxed door allows fluids to travel back upward, creating a chemical reaction on your tongue that leaves you with that sharp morning bitterness. If you want to better understand these quiet signals your body sends during the night, you can follow me on this channel. It is important to realize that this process, often called silent reflux, can occur without the classic burning sensation we usually associate with stomach issues. It quietly irritates your system while you are in a deep sleep, leaving only that bitter taste as a clue. But there is a second, even more hidden factor involving your gallbladder that we are about to uncover. This hidden element changes the intensity of the signal, and it is something most people completely overlook. Think of your esophagus as a high-tech plumbing system designed by nature. At the very bottom of this pipe, just before it enters the stomach, there is a specialized muscular ring that acts exactly like a security gate. Its only job is to stay tightly closed once food passes through, preventing the highly acidic contents of your stomach from splashing back up. In a young, healthy body, this gate is firm and resilient. But as we reach our 60s, the muscles can lose their tension, much like an old spring that no longer pulls a door completely shut. Doctors call this muscular ring the lower esophageal sphincter, but you can simply think of it as your body's primary safety valve. When you are standing or sitting, gravity helps keep everything in its place. But the moment you lie down to sleep, that weakened valve struggles to hold back the pressure. This is where the bitter taste comes from. It is a tiny amount of digestive fluid or bile that has managed to leak past the gate and reach your tongue. Many people assume this is just a sign of a dry mouth or poor sleep, but it is actually a physical signal that your internal plumbing is losing its seal. In my clinic, I often see patients who are surprised to learn that they have been experiencing this for years without a single moment of chest pain or traditional heartburn. We have been conditioned to believe that if it does not burn, it is not a problem, but that is a dangerous misunderstanding. This silent leakage means your delicate throat tissues are being exposed to harsh chemicals while you rest, changing how your body recovers overnight. Understanding that this bitterness is a structural message rather than a hygiene issue is the first step toward protecting your long-term health and preventing deeper irritation. But understanding how this physical gate weakens is only the first part of the mystery. There is another detail, a habit so common that many of us do it every single night, believing it actually helps us sleep better. In reality, this one specific choice is often the hidden trigger that forces that internal gate to stay open longer than it should. It is a mistake that bridges the gap between a simple anatomy issue and a persistent chemical warning that most people never see coming. I see this exact pattern play out in my office almost every week with patients who are otherwise very careful with their health. They follow the rules and stay active, yet they are unknowingly sabotaging their nighttime recovery through one misunderstood routine. This is where the situation begins to change from a general observation into a very real medical reality. I want to share a specific story from a patient of mine that illustrates exactly how this hidden error manifests in daily life. I remember a patient named Arthur, a retired teacher in his late 60s who took great pride in his daily health habits. He walked every morning and ate a very balanced diet. Yet during one of our routine consultations, he mentioned something almost as an afterthought. He described a strange, metallic bitterness that seemed to coat his tongue every single morning. Arthur didn't think it was a medical issue. He simply assumed he was getting older or perhaps just needed to change his brand of toothpaste. What struck me about Arthur's case was the complete absence of any typical symptoms like chest pain or a burning throat. He felt perfectly fine throughout the day, which is why he had ignored this warning signal for nearly 2 years without concern. This is the hallmark of what we often see in the clinic. A silent reflux where the internal valve has weakened just enough to let fluids pass, but not enough to cause an immediate, painful reaction that would force a person to seek help. As we sat in my office and walked through his evening routine, we discovered a hidden pattern that Arthur never suspected was related to his bitter tongue. Every night, about 30 minutes before bed, he enjoyed a small bowl of walnuts and a glass of tea, believing this healthy ritual was helping his heart. He didn't realize that by lying down so soon after, he was essentially inviting his digestive fluids to migrate upward, slowly irritating his esophagus while he slept. This case taught us both a valuable lesson about how our bodies communicate through subtle, non-painful changes in our internal chemistry. Arthur's morning bitterness wasn't just a nuisance. It was a diagnostic opportunity that allowed us to identify a metabolic imbalance before it turned into chronic inflammation. It shows that even the most health-conscious individuals can have a blind spot in their routine that prevents the body from fully recovering during the night. Now that we've seen how even a healthy snack like Arthur's can cause trouble, it's important to look at another very common habit that many people believe is actually helping them rest. Many of my patients enjoy a warm cup of herbal tea or a specific evening drink to relax their bodies before bed. While this feels like a wonderful ritual, certain infusions can unintentionally relax that muscular security gate we discussed earlier, making it much easier for bitter digestive fluids to slip upward while you are in a deep sleep. It is also worth remembering that the way you position your body on the pillow can either protect you or invite this morning bitterness. A very common mistake is sleeping on your right side, which actually places the stomach at a higher level than the throat, allowing gravity to work against you all night long. Many people choose this position because it feels comfortable, not realizing they are essentially opening a path for fluids to migrate toward their tongue. But there is another hidden error involving how long we wait after dinner that most people get completely wrong. Most of us were taught that waiting an hour after eating is enough time for the body to process a meal. But as we age, our internal clock for digestion begins to slow down significantly. In the clinic, we often find that a 60-minute gap is simply not enough for the stomach to empty its contents before we lie flat. This delay creates a buildup of pressure that eventually overcomes the weakened valve, leading to that chemical signal you find in the morning. When we combine this with the wrong sleep position, the risk of silent irritation increases without us ever feeling a single pang of pain. Finally, many people include what they consider healthy fats in their evening meals, such as avocados or olive oil, assuming these are always beneficial for longevity. While these are excellent for your heart, fats are the slowest nutrients to leave the stomach, meaning your digestive system is still working hard long after you've closed your eyes. This leads to a prolonged state where the safety valve is under constant stress, often resulting in that persistent metallic or bitter taste when you wake up. Understanding these three common errors, improper drink choices, sleeping on the right side, and eating too close to bedtime, is essential for anyone wanting to reclaim their nighttime recovery. Now that we understand the errors that lead to this internal imbalance, we must look at the other ways your body tries to get your attention. Beyond that bitter morning taste, your body often leaves breadcrumbs that are just as easy to overlook. You might wake up feeling a strange mental fog, or notice you are suddenly waking up between 2 and 4 in the morning. Many patients also report a lingering heaviness in their legs that makes those first few steps feel like a chore. One specific signal you can check for tomorrow morning is the temperature of your feet. If you wake up with surprisingly cold feet, even under blankets, it may suggest your circulation is prioritizing your core during nighttime digestive stress. This coldness, combined with mild puffiness around your eyes or ankles, is a visible sign that your fluid management is being disrupted. It is a quiet message from your system that it is working overtime instead of focusing on deep cellular repair. While these subtle shifts are often manageable, there are moments when the body's whispers turn into a demand for professional help. If you experience persistent chest pressure, difficulty swallowing, or a sudden, unexplained weight loss alongside that bitter taste, please seek a medical evaluation immediately. When symptoms become intense or are accompanied by a chronic cough that won't go away, it is time to consult a doctor. These are the boundary lines where a morning signal requires the expertise of a clinical team. Now that we've identified these subtle signs, let's look at how you can organize your evening to give your body the rest it truly deserves. One of the most effective habits I recommend in my clinic is the 3-hour rule. By ensuring your last meal is finished at least 3 hours before you lie down, you allow your stomach enough time to empty. This simple shift reduces the pressure on that internal safety valve known as the lower esophageal sphincter, making it much harder for bitter fluids to travel upward. Another powerful change involves how you position yourself during the night to let gravity work in your favor. You might want to remember these two simple adjustments: sleeping on your left side and slightly elevating your head. When you lie on your left side, your stomach remains below the level of your throat, creating a natural physical barrier. Adding a wedge pillow or raising the head of your bed by just a few inches can significantly prevent silent reflux and stop that morning bitterness from ever reaching your tongue. Managing your fluids in the evening is also a key piece of the puzzle for maintaining your internal balance. While staying hydrated is vital, try to consume the majority of your water earlier in the day rather than right before bed. Large amounts of liquid can distend the stomach and force that weakened valve to open. By taking smaller sips in the evening and avoiding heavy, fatty snacks, you support your liver and gallbladder in their nighttime recovery process, ensuring you wake up feeling refreshed and healthy. Small, consistent changes like these often yield the most significant results for your long-term well-being and independence. It is helpful to think of these adjustments not as a strict protocol, but as a way to harmonize your daily routine with your body's natural rhythm. If you start implementing these 3 things tonight, waiting after dinner, sleeping on your left, and mindful hydration, you are taking an active role in protecting your health. These are the practical steps that turn a morning warning sign into a strategy for longevity. Understanding these silent signals gives you a profound sense of control over your own health and future independence. That bitter morning taste isn't something to fear, but a helpful guide showing you exactly where your routine needs a small, gentle adjustment. By prioritizing those 3 hours of digestion before bed and choosing a supportive sleep position, you are protecting your body from unnecessary stress. These simple habits ensure your internal systems can focus on true recovery, allowing you to wake up each day with the energy and vitality you deserve. If you want to continue learning how to listen to these quiet messages from your body, I invite you to follow this channel for more insights into healthy aging. My goal is to help you navigate these years with confidence and clarity. I would also value your input on what we should explore next together. Please write in the comments which health topics or specific symptoms you would like me to address in our future videos, as your questions help guide our community toward better health and a longer life.